Our series on herbs A to Z continues. Today we're talking herbs that begin with the letter E. Joining us with more is Carol Joyce. She's the owner of White Buffalo Herbs in Warwick. E is for excellent, effervescent,
and enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
And echinacea, particularly.
Okay, so letter E herbs. What are we starting with?
We're going to talk a little bit about echinacea, and we'll finish with it as well. Down here we have echinacea tincture.
Okay.
And that is what we're going to make today very quickly. You take echinacea root, which is dried, and put 1 part into a clean ball jar.
Okay, you want me to do that right now?
If you want, sure.
Okay. Now, what is echinacea?
Echinacea is coneflower. I know we have a picture. Here's a picture of the seed package. It's a beautiful pink, tall plant that grows for years and years as a perennial. So once you have it, you've got it forever. You can use the root or the flowers for a tincture or an extract. And you pour 100 proof vodka over it to cover it up.
Oh, so cover it completely?
Yes.
Okay. This is some strong stuff. Oh, take the whole top.
Make it easier for you.
Thank you. Now, this is something that is good for, is it fighting colds?
It's supposed to be very good as anti-inflammatory, really good for your immune system, and some people use it for sinus troubles too.
Oh.
So when you finish with it, you cap this, put it away for 6 weeks, and when it's done, you can put it in one of those little tincture bottles, and it lasts almost 5 years on the shelf if you don't use it all at once.
Wow. And what would you use it for? Just like if you do have any
If you feel kind of crummy,
Yep.
you can take a couple of dropperfuls as needed, and it makes your tongue tingle when you use it too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to skip
That's, you can
that.
just set it down.
Who would have
No
thought putting a
problem.
cap on would be so difficult?
Then I'm going to quickly talk about elderberry. If you want to taste it, you can. That's elderberry syrup. I don't make it, but it's a marvelous plant. Comes from Canada. And elderberry syrup is wonderful for your lungs if you have bad colds, and it's great as a cough syrup. And it's yummy.
Oh, really? A cough syrup?
Really,
so
really yummy.
Do you just dip this in there?
Yeah.
And...
Take a little nibble if you like. It's very sweet.
Ooh.
And I like it on pancakes instead of
I
maple
would
syrup.
too. That's tasty. Amazing.
It's yummy. The last quick E one I want to talk about is eucalyptus, and eucalyptus is a wonderful plant. I like it a lot. It also helps your sinuses, clears your head. If you use the essential oil in a little water spray, you can kill staph and strep on contact.
Really?
So it's really great. Instead of using Purell, forgive me, or one of those other companies, I like to make my own, and so I use eucalyptus.
And it smells so fresh and clean too. Okay, so now I see that we're doing something with soil.
Yes, this time of year is the time to start your plants, especially your echinacea. And so I have a soil mix that Elliot Coleman has created. It's organic, but you put together black peat, brown peat, sand, your local compost, and make basically a potting soil, and I add organic fertilizer with green sand, colloidal phosphate, and blood meal. And it starts to look pretty strange. You mix it all up, and if you don't have all these things, you can just go buy a bag of potting soil at the store.
Okay.
And you need this weird little thing. This helps you instead of having to buy pots to put things in.
Okay.
Alrighty. So I put, it's a little bit strange, you put spoonfuls
Wow, this is a
of
nifty
this
thing.
soil mix in, and then I use, I'll show you in a second, I prefer to use a paint scraper because the spoon doesn't get the stuff in very well,
Right.
and I make a mess. And in a second, we're going to have 4 little baby blocks to put your seed in.
Now, Carol, this contraption is really cool and amazing. What if you don't have it?
I'll show you in a second. You can put it in here. So then, ta-da, you stick it in something that's waterproof.
Whoa.
And you get 4 little blocks. The reason I use this is that air prunes everything, and you have no shock when you transplant this into the garden. Many times when we have things in other materials, they get all upset when you put them in the ground. You rip the. So if you don't have that, just use a paper cup.
Okay, that I can handle. I mean, I could handle that, I just don't have it.
Right.
So perfect, paper cup I have.
Yep. And then you can put your seeds in. And I wanted to explain really quickly about echinacea. Most seeds, this is calendula seed, and it's really tiny and circular.
Oh.
So it's very easy. You can just put one in. Whoops. Try to put one in and put a little
odd.
tiny bit of dirt on top. Ta-da, you're all set.
Wow.
But with echinacea, you can put a seed in. It looks a little bit like the root. And sometimes I put 2 in just in case I screw up. It might not grow.
Just for extra luck. There you go.
When you cover it, echinacea needs to be stratified, and stratified means you freeze it. So I put this whole thing in, that's why these are now up. I put the whole thing in, cover it with saran wrap, and put it in the freezer for 6 weeks. It mimics nature, because in the fall they throw their seeds down.
This is really cool. So let's just show this off here. That's amazing. So you freeze it.
And then you pull it out, and it gets warm. You put it in sunshine or under a fluorescent light, and ta-da, you have little baby plants.
That's so cool. Well, thank you so much, Carol. The letter E on our journey of the herbs A to Z. Echinacea, eucalyptus. What else do we have here?
Elderberry.
Elderberry. And now we're going to move on to F in a couple weeks.
We are.
Wonderful. Thanks
Thank
so much,
you.
Carol. Nice to have you here. Coming up on